South Africa has implemented a 5-level response to the coronavirus. And I think that this is looking like it might be the international standard, to have multiple levels at which the economy is both locked down and eased open. And this allows us to keep a dynamic balance between what is happening in the healthcare and the medical space and in the economy. There is no doubt that we have to find that balance. For a few weeks, we've been arguing with each other about which is more important. And it's come down to a neat label, lives versus livelihood. But of course, in both cases, that is incorrect, because lives and livelihood are both found in what happens with the coronavirus and the medical response, and what happens in the economy and the effects of a lockdown and a shutdown. Both of these things are true, and it's now a dynamic balancing act for the next few months as we continue to attempt to open up the economy as much as possible, get people back to jobs, get people into jobs, create new jobs even in the economy, while at the same time making sure that we continue to monitor and manage the infection levels. Remember that the purpose of a lockdown, at whatever level of lockdown we have, is not to cure the virus. We don't have a cure yet. It's not to stop the virus completely. We can't really, although we can protect ourselves and slow the spread. The main purpose is to ensure that the number of new infections leading to the requirement for hospitals for those probably around 15 to 20% of people who may need hospitalization because of their symptoms. The one thing we want is to make sure we have enough hospital capacity for the number of people who need hospitals. As soon as it goes over that, as soon as there are too many people needing hospitalization, the entire system spirals very quickly out of control. And that, of course, has a huge economic impact. And so the economy and the medical system must be in this dynamic balance for the next few months. Let's stop fighting with each other about lives versus livelihood and work with each other on maintaining this dynamic balance. That means 3 very simple things. The first is, for those who are getting the economy going, who are getting their businesses running again, we must do this in a way that takes the virus seriously, that ensures that people are safe, people who work for us and our clients as well. We've heard all of the important information about this. We need to make sure that our workplaces have physical distancing, no physical contact, and that includes entry into your buildings. If it's on a biometric, you've got to switch that off and find another way to do it. We've got to have hand sanitizing, and we've got to remind ourselves to do that. We've got to wear masks in our offices. We've got to take the virus seriously. But if we do that, we can get our offices going, our businesses going again. That might mean quite a lot of work for some businesses to create that physical distancing, to put in place working from home, long-term situations for some of their staff. Get going with that as soon as possible, because the sooner you can do that, the sooner we can get your part of the economy going. The second thing we need to do is we need to make sure that each of us keeps ourselves safe. Even if we are going to work and getting the economy going, we have to really think hard about limiting our geographic footprint and limiting the number of people we come into contact with. For the next few months, we've got to just do that in every sphere of our life. And that means that maybe your sports club needs to change how it engages. Your religious gatherings need to change how they do things, and not insist on just putting people into rooms and crowding people together. We've got to get physical distancing between ourselves in every aspect of our lives. And so we need to look after ourselves and ensure that we are not doing anything to spread the disease. And then finally, we need to make sure that our governments are focused, almost most of their effort now is focused on the protection and preparation of our medical systems, making sure that we've got enough PPE, making sure that protocols are in place, and making sure that if we need additional emergency medical facilities, that these are available to us. I've seen, for example, some of the plans that have been made in South Africa to turn some of our sports stadiums into temporary field hospitals. These plans are all good to go. They're ready, they're costed, the architects and builders are good to go. And that makes me tremendously proud and calms me down a little bit that the government has in fact taken the time of that early major lockdown to actually do the preparation that was necessary. So now we can get that balancing act between the economy, the medical system, and our personal responsibility to make sure that we keep ourselves safe and that we don't see massive spikes in infections, hospitalizations, and deaths from COVID-19. We've got a long way to go in making sure that our economy and our people are both protected and balanced and grow and develop together through 2020 and 2021. But we can do this. Let's stop the fight between these two polar opposites and rather see now the dynamic tension that needs to exist as we build our economy and our country up again, keeping all of our people safe and taking personal responsibility at the same time.